Hi, everyone. This is Tommi Vincent, your host of In Her Words podcast. And joining me today at the table, we have Whitney A. Jackson. She is the CEO at Warrick Dunn Charities. Whitney, welcome to the table.
Thank you, Tommi. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, ma'am. And, you and I had an opportunity to do something pretty special last year at the Super Bowl. And it was one of the most rewarding opportunities that myself and my children and Troy had an opportunity to participate in. Can you talk about the remarkable work that you are doing at Warrick Dunn Charities, just so people can understand why I am expressing the love and the gratitude that I have for the opportunity that was presented to us?
Sure. So at Warrick Dunn Charities, our mission is all about empowering families to break the cycle of generational poverty and have a higher quality of life for all. And the program and opportunity you are specifically talking about is our Homes for the Holidays flagship program. This started back in 1997 when Warrick was a rookie with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And essentially, he wanted to figure out a way to support and reward, at the time, just single moms who had achieved the milestone of first-time home ownership. Folks who aren't familiar with Warrick's story may not know that he is the oldest of 6, and his mother was a Baton Rouge City police officer, and she was a single mom, and she was making $36,000 a year, trying to figure out how she could scrape up enough money for a down payment for a stable home for her family. She had picked up a second job at a Piggly Wiggly and was doing security. And unfortunately, 2 days after his 18th birthday, she was working. She was with the manager at the Piggly Wiggly. They went to go do the night drop, and robbers ambushed them, and she got shot and killed. And so that tremendously impacted his life and his whole trajectory. And he just knew through his own grief process, he wanted to figure out a way to honor her life and her legacy. So Homes for the Holidays is that grief process, that legacy, that memoriam to Miss Betty Smothers. And we have done this for the last 25 years in 28 different cities and 16 different states. And last year, we had the great fortune of celebrating our 200th home celebration with Miss Felicia and her son in LA the Tuesday before Super Bowl. It was sponsored by, Tommi and her husband Vincent and their Love Thy Neighbor Foundation and Vincent Country. And so you all helped us shop and decorate and surprise Miss Felicia and her son with a Homes for the Holidays home celebration. So she got $5,000 in down payment assistance and a fully furnished and decorated house. She herself loves to cook and was inspired by being a chef. And so that was a great fit for you. Y'all even invested in some higher end kitchen appliances for her so that she could maximize her skill and her passion. And so it was just a great opportunity to partner with you all on that.
Mm-hmm. It was remarkable. Now, I know that you personally, you have been doing work in the field of, where I heard someone say that we should stop calling work nonprofit.
Yes.
And that we should be calling it impactful work.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there is profit in what we're doing.
Yes.
We are profiting the lives of the individuals that we have an opportunity to invest in.
Yes.
And so it was, just really being mindful of the terminology that's being used when we're making impact in community. So I know that you have 20 years of impactful management.
Thank you.
and social services.
Yes.
And for you, the focus of children and women.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. So I had the good fortune of growing up in a family, a wonderful 2-parent stable family in Atlanta. But my mom was very clear that to whom much is given, much is required. She was very philanthropically and civically minded. So we were that family. probably much like the Vincents, that got up on Saturday mornings and did service projects. I mean, she was active in an organization called the Kiwanis Club.
Yes.
They partnered with the Boys and Girls Club. We, in Atlanta, were very instrumental in volunteering. The Hosea Williams Feed the Hungry, that's what we were doing on Thanksgiving morning. I mean, we were always giving back. She wanted us to be clear that there are families, women, children, others who go without. And so it is our duty as Christians, as children of God, to give back and to pour into. Even if you don't have the financial resources to do so, you have time, you have talent. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve, Dr. King. So that's just how I was raised. Yes. I didn't know that there was anything different than giving back and doing community service and helping others. It wasn't at a financial level, but we was out there, okay, here's a toiletry drive. They don't give you toiletries at the hotels anymore, they give you the full size, but collect those. We're gonna donate those to a battered women's shelter. Oh, you've outgrown all your clothes. We're gonna put them outside because the Salvation Army is gonna pick them up. I mean, it was just a constant theme in my upbringing and household that you just give back. So for me, this is just a calling. I feel like this is just my life's work, to use my talents to serve others. I don't know anything different. I feel very blessed that I've been able to make a career out of it, but I feel like I am just thankful to be getting paid to do what I like to do.
Listen, you're going to do it anyway.
Right, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
I might as well make a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's been awesome.
Good. Every family creates a culture.
Yes.
A family culture. Yes. And so when, like you, I grew up in a home, in a family, quite frankly, where we were always doing community work.
Yes.
And as a child, I didn't think it was anything special or because this is just what we did as a family. And so when I got married and I started having my own children, it was very organic for me and Troy to do this because we grew up with families that really, it was ingrained in our fiber. This was our family culture. And so our children today, it's who they are.
Yes.
And so when we do things, and people always say, they always seem so passionate. They always seem, like they're presenting words of affirmation about what they're doing. And I'm like, but how should we be moving in this work? Yeah. People should know that we love them. People should know we care about them. People should know that they're valued and they're seen. And so it's just kind of the response and reaction to service. Sometimes I'm like, why do we respond in that way when these are our brothers and sisters?
Yes.
We are all a part of the human family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I really value what you're doing, and I think about the work that you all are doing at Warrick Dunn Charities in this space of creating home.
Yes.
One, allowing mothers to be able to become homeowners.
Yes.
That is major in itself.
Yes.
Because you're creating an asset for them and their family, and something that potentially they'll have an opportunity to pass along to their children.
That's right.
And then also, they also are equipped and they get information so that they're empowered in the process. You're not just giving them a home.
Not at all.
There is a process. So talk to us about the process.
Yes. So through the Homes for the Holidays program, we actually partner with affordable housing providers.
Okay.
We don't build the homes. They are built by other entities, sometimes Habitat affiliates, but not exclusively. And so they have to qualify for these homes. They do pay a mortgage, but it's usually a zero interest mortgage and much more affordable than what they're paying in rent. And you can imagine in many of the communities that we serve, the places that they are renting are subpar, right? And I'm, just inadequate housing standards for children and for families to live in. And still they are paying exorbitant costs for, a rent, and they don't own it. So, they go through their affordable housing program to be able to qualify for their house, whether it's financial literacy classes, home ownership classes, all of the things to prepare them for home ownership. And then those entities nominate secretly to us this opportunity to be what we call rewarded with a home celebration.
Okay.
So we surprise them with the additional $5,000, which they have no idea about. Many of them have taken on second and third jobs and are trying to save up for the furniture, right? If they've been in a small, 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, maybe they've been doubled up and living with family. And so they don't have, bed, sofa, kitchen appliances, toiletries, all of the things that we put inside the home. And they think, okay, I now may have to go back into debt, trying to furnish this new house, but I'm just so happy and thankful that I qualified and got it and I closed on it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't care. They're like, I'm going to go to that house. And so many of them are like, we're going to sleep on the floor. Mm-hmm. They have so much gratitude for just the structure of the house. They're not even thinking about how am I going to transform it into a home. And that's when the magic of Warrick Dunn Charities comes in, because we've already done that work for them and they have no idea that that's what's on the other side of the door.
Yeah. This is something that I really valued as we were getting the house ready for them and unpacking everything and putting everything in its place, the quality of the furniture and the appliances and the thoughtfulness, because you don't just put what you think is going to, like, oh, we like this, so we're going to put this in the home. Right. You all are very intentional about really getting to know the person that this home, not only the homeowner, but also the children. You get details about them so that when they go into their bedrooms, when they walk into the home, there are things all around the home that really speaks to them.
Yes.
So every step is a moment. Yeah. Every single step walking through the house is a moment where it's like where you could just walk through a house in 30 minutes. This walkthrough might take, an hour, because it's a pause every step of the way, because their heart is so full, because they're like, I wanted that. This is the,
How did you know?
Well, so it's like, it is beyond. I really had the words pale. Yeah. I don't have the words to really articulate how magical your program is.
Thank you.
And I know you all have done, we were a part of the 200th, but beyond, like,
we're at 210 now.
210 homes. Yes. And so I know you have a lot of memories, but do you have one that just when you just laying in the bed, it comes to mind and you're like, man, listen.
Yes. Yes, I do. Thank you for asking about that. So actually, we have 2 home celebrations that are coming up at the end of this month. It's a surprise. I won't tell you the markets or where they're going to be, but it'll actually be my 50th and 51st home celebrations with Warrick Dunn Charities. Yeah. So you're right. And over 4.5 years, we've done this many, many times, and it never gets old, because each home celebration is unique and each family is different. And just every moment that we have with them is magical. But about 3 years ago, we were in Nashville for the first time, and we did 2 home celebrations there. We actually had partnered at the time with Marcus Mariota, and he was playing for the Tennessee Titans. And we didn't publicize the second home celebration because this mother was a domestic violence survivor. Okay. She had actually been shot in the face by her ex-partner, the father of her son. Her son had some physical limitations. He had autism and just some sensory challenges to work through that we were mindful of as we were decorating the home. But when she opened the door, she literally fell to her knees and started weeping. I mean, she didn't even know. I mean, she just opened the door, and it was Christmas time. It was December. Yeah. So the Christmas tree was up, the presents for her son were under the tree, and she just wept. And it was cold, but so, Warrick standing behind her. He's like, it's okay, Mom, get up, we can go inside. But she just was in the doorway, crouched down, shuddering, weeping, praising. And I think about that moment just often, and just what that meant for her, what she had overcome and experienced as a survivor, and now the foundation and the stability that she and her son would have, the resources that he needed with his opportunities and learning and developmental differences. And we still, of course, keep in touch with them, but just that's a moment, of all of them that just, I see that picture in my head when I close my eyes of her in the doorway, just kneeling and weeping.
Mm-hmm. That is remarkable. Yeah. So we've talked about your work with Warrick Dunn Charities, but I know that that's what you do.
Yeah.
That's not who you are.
Yes.
So I would like for you just to tell us more about you.
Sure. Ooh, that's always a loaded question, right? It's like, introduce yourself. You're like, well, where do I start?
Wherever you want, because listen.
Yes. So, so many things, but I am a wife. I am a mother, daughter, sister, friend, obviously nonprofit, mission-driven, impactful executive.
Yes.
Atlanta native. Georgia peaches are the sweetest. ATL forever. But yeah, I love people. I love what I do. I like learning about what people are interested in. I have worked with and met people from all walks of life, and I am genuinely interested in what their story is. I feel like everybody has a connection. There is a common thread, as you said earlier, we're all brothers and sisters, right? Different mothers and fathers, but all brothers and sisters. And so, let me find out, how are we siblings, right? What is our commonality? What is our mutual interest or, level playing field, and how can we connect? I feel like everybody's life has value and purpose. And I feel like, my calling is to just leave the world better than I found it. And every day I take that opportunity to have a positive interaction and engagement and meet somebody new. And hopefully, they remember me. And I feel like, when we walk away, hopefully they feel like I've blessed them with our interaction. So that's Whitney Jackson.
So, a lot of people, when they even verbally share with people like, hey, I want to get into work in the space, the nonprofit space, the impactful work, people discourage them.
They do. Mm-hmm.
Because of, the stigma around the compensation that is received.
Yes, understood.
Which makes zero sense.
Yeah.
Because the qualifications to do the work are that of, our large corporations.
Yes.
It requires the same exact skill set, and people are receiving the same education.
Yes.
So we got to do better.
Absolutely.
We got to do better.
Yes.
But what are some words of wisdom, encouragement, to really speak to those individuals about why they are making the right choice?
Absolutely. So, thank you for asking that. That is definitely something that has come up in my field over the last 20 years. I have my MSW, so I always consider myself a social worker. And even with that, it has kind of the stigma of child protective services, right? And sort of, you're taking children from their families, all of that. There's so much to do in this field and space of social work and nonprofit mission-driven work. So beyond that. But you're right. People think, oh, okay, well, you're not going to make a lot of money. And of course, you're not necessarily in it for the money, but it is a business. I mean, I tell people all the time, and they understand, I run a small business. Mm-hmm. And so it requires, financial acumen, human resources, all of the people skills, negotiation, partnerships, everything to make an organization run. But I truly feel like if you are walking in your purpose, if you are living out your passion and your talents, a way will be made for you to be able to do that and figure out how to live a great life, how to be compensated, because it's about your talent, right? And it's also about hard work. And people will see that and honor that and recognize that. And we will be able to find spaces and places where you will be rewarded for the work that you're doing. It is definitely a mission. I tell people, this is the Lord's work. It is a calling. And it's a bonus to be able to do it and to be, compensated, based on the work that I do. But it's definitely, I would say, don't be discouraged. Be encouraged by what you have in your heart. Sharpen your skill set, your acumen, network. Also, just figure out, a lot of people ask me, oh, do you want to start your own nonprofit? Or, what do you think about that? Or I want to start my own. I think that's great if you feel like that's how you're being led. But there are a million, as you know, existing organizations that you could plug yourself into and maximize and improve and take from good to great. So start there, Start there.
That's a great place to start. So in this segment of our conversation, it's titled, I'm Bringing Her to the Table with Me. And so this is your opportunity to give verbal flowers to another woman, for you know that you would not be where you are today in your journey without her fingerprint on your life.
Yes. Wow, there's so many. It's probably cliche, but of course, my mother. She is a huge inspiration to me. She is a pediatrician. She loves children. I think I shared earlier, she has always been civically minded and all about serving her community. But she is my greatest champion and cheerleader. She is just an inspiration to me and to others. I have had to learn now as an adult, you probably get this too, Chef Tommi, I've had to share her with a lot of people. She mentors a lot of people. She has a wonderful, magnetic personality. People are drawn to her. And so it is always, by people, oh, I love your mother. I do too, but I am her only daughter. And so
my mom.
It's taken me a while to be like, you know what, it's okay. I am her legacy.
Yes.
But she has been my everything, my champion, my cheerleader, my confidant. And I just love, respect, and admire her. And, she sees a lot of herself in me. And now that I'm a mom and have a daughter, I try to pour that into my daughter as well. So definitely my mom, but definitely I have a strong village of women who we have just supported each other, right? Whether it's been through this nonprofit space, marriage, family, sisterhood, job transitions, just life, the spectrum, all of the things. And so you need your girlfriends. You need your sisterhood. You need your circle, because it is hard out here. Right? We can't do it alone. We don't want to do it alone, right? You got to find strength in other sources. So my whole sisterhood circle, but my mother is the chief of that.
I love it. I love it. So Whitney, is there anything that we did not discuss in our conversation that you would like to share with our listening community?
I just want to take the time and the opportunity to say thank you to you for stepping up. Like I said, we met last year and had an opportunity to work out in LA with Miss Felicia and her family. Troy has been awesome. He obviously works closely with Warrick and everything with the NFL, but everything that we do comes through partnerships. And so I'm very thankful for the partnership, and it has continued. It wasn't just a one-time thing. We're in LA and, never to be seen or heard from again. So thank you for having me as a guest. Thank you for wanting to learn more about me. Thank you for the platform for me to share. And, I am proud and honored to be here.
Thank you. I appreciate those kind words. And where can people find you?
Yes, absolutely. So our website for Warrick Dunn Charities is just www.wdc.org. I'm personally on LinkedIn, Whitney A. Jackson, but I'd love to connect with folks and just continue to share the great work that we do.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Whitney, I am so grateful that you took the opportunity to come and stay a while with me at the In Her Words table. And just know you're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.